Today we've got 10 minutes and no more than 10 minutes to draw a cartoon astronaut from a photograph that we find online. Let's go. Well, here we are with the 10-minute challenge yet again, and I've just set my own, I've got my own timer here, so I'm just going to set it for 10 minutes. What I've got to do is take this photograph of an astronaut, which you can see here, and turn it into some kind of a cartoon. It's a bit blurry because I had to blow it up. It's a very small picture. 10 minutes starts now. There we go. So let's get at it with what we would call the pencil layer first, and I'm going to do it proper cartoon style, which is to say, the head and the body probably going to be about the same size. That's the way cartoons tend to work. Notice I'm kind of working away almost like I'm sculpting it out of something. Now, whenever you look at photographs of astronauts, they tend to be quite static, because I think it is that their sort of outfits don't allow a lot of movement, but I need there to be a bit of movement, because otherwise it's not going to be very interesting. So I'm just going to take a few liberties. I'm just using the drawing as a reference, really. So let's have our astronaut looking just like he's moving just that little bit more, and his arms are out. I'm saying he could easily be a woman in there, couldn't it? But anyway, let's just go with it. The hands are not particularly distinct, but there you are. There are certain things that will always tell the viewer that what they're looking at is an astronaut, as opposed to a deep sea diver. And it's generally, the most important thing is this great big pack that they have on the back of them, carrying all their life support, and you know, because it's a very hostile environment out there in space. So here we are. We'll make that a bit of a bunched hand like this, and we'll put our astronaut's head just about here. You know, it is incongruous, isn't it? You look and you see a very large space helmet, and then you see a small head. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little bit of jeopardy for our astronaut here, and you'll find out what that jeopardy is as we go further on. Now, I've used the photograph as a guide more than anything else, and that's how it's going to stay. I've probably done that hand a little bit big there. Oh, bear with me a second. Free hand. Yeah. Let's just make that hand a little bit smaller. Wonders of digital, eh? Now we'll just hide the original, center our character, and now, because I've kind of done him on sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just knocking it back so that it's 50% depth, and now I want to go in and start doing the inking. How I managed to get those things so confused, I really don't know. I suppose it's because of the speed of it all. So here we go with some inking. Got to be a little bit more careful now, because we've put all these things in place. Nice big space helmet here. Let's just put. We can't have everything very distinct because it's in space, and it's not always the clearest. But we'll just, for cartoon purposes, just keep it going like this. You really should try this. It's a good challenge. It's fun, which is what drawing needs to be. All kinds of art needs to be fun. Let's put some little control systems on him there. That's what we want, like that. Boots will kind of, because you want to keep space out, you kind of make the whole sort of trouser stroke pants thing and boots thing try and all be the same, because you don't want any gaps. You don't want any. Well, most importantly, you don't want the air getting out and the vacuum getting in, because that really wouldn't do. So here's our. Actually, I'm going to do something a bit different with that hand. I'll just do this with it. Just make it slightly different. And now his backpack. And let's put an antenna on it. It's probably very old-fashioned as an idea, but you know, no harm is there. Astronauts tend to have very short hair. Certainly American astronauts do. I suppose it makes sense because, you know, in outer space there aren't any hairdressers or anything like that to That probably doesn't make sense. Probably makes more sense to let it grow long. Now there was in the background a planet, so let's have our planet like this. And now we're way ahead on this, so now I'm going to just put a bit of background color into this. Well, not color, but just a bit of a shade, because I think it's fun to try. Let's give him a bit of shade here. Yeah, slightly bigger. Yeah, let's give him a bit of shade here. Like that. Shadow around. As always, you could be thinking, oh, shall I put it here, shall I put it there? But actually, it's just there's no right or wrong to this, really. I mean, obviously, you could do it badly, I suppose. Let's fill up that space there. It's a good 10-minute cartoon challenge, isn't it? But now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the little bit of jeopardy that we need for this person, and that's going to be, I want this to be properly black. I'm going to put a goldfish in his space helmet. And we've still got 2.5 minutes left, so it's not too bad. And on that shade bit, we'll just get the eraser and make the goldfish a bit more obvious. There you are. And that, well, we've got 2 minutes left. So we'll probably just go a little bit further with this, with the shading. Sorry, my sort of commentary on this is breaking up because I'm having to think at the same time as I'm talking. It's not as if this has been rehearsed in any way. It certainly hasn't, and that's the whole point of this. I'm kind of springing a trap on myself, if you see what I mean, in the interest of making an interesting little film that some of you might look at and say, well, if he can do that in 10 minutes, taking one picture, getting a gag out of it, as it were, in one little picture, then you might say to yourself, oh, I'll have a go at that. Let's put space in here in the background, outer space. We don't want that. We do want that. Yeah, we've got a minute left, so we'll go big. We want that to be black. Is this going to work? Possibly not. Nope, I decide against that. Delete. And we'll stick with what we've got. We're 22 seconds away, and I think I'm quite happy with my little cartoon gag. I'll just put a signature on it. There you are, 3, 2, 1, done.